Hello everyone, MVC Core. Learn with me, MVC Core. This is notes. Creating views. Is my voice audible or not? Okay, right. Already 51 seconds. Okay. Creating views. User interfaces in MVC Core. Creating views in MVC Core. Create a new ASP.NET Core empty project, naming it as MVC Core Tag Helpers. Create a new ASP.NET Core empty project, naming it as MVC Core Tag Helpers. Choose target framework as .NET 5.0. Of course, that was out of support. .NET 6.0 long-term support or .NET 7.0 standard term. 8.0 long-term support or 9.0 standard term support. .NET 10 long-term support, and click on the create button because we have chosen an empty project template. Configure the project to work as an MVC application as explained earlier, and then do the following. Empty project template. Configure the project to work as MVC application as explained earlier, and then do the following. Add a new folder. Under the project, naming it as models. Add a new folder under the project, naming it as models, and a new class into that folder, naming it as login model, and write the below code in it, importing system.componentModel.annotation namespace. These are important, right? Add a new folder. Hi. Add a new folder under the project. New folder models. Add a new class in that folder, login model. Write the below code in it, importing the namespace. So importing namespace, using this one, system.componentModel.data annotation. System is capital, component C, data annotation case sensitive. Careful about that. System.componentModel.annotations namespace. The code is public class login model. So login model is our name. Of course, this was defaultly coming. We are giving that name, public class login model. Email address, public string question email get set, public string. We are using after string. This question mark is important because of allow nullable values. Without using this question mark, there is underline mark is right. Public string email. So we are actually login model, right? This is basic login model. Anybody commenting? I'm sorry. Okay, right. Please like and subscribe if anybody. Okay, login model, string email, password, remember. These are 3 attributes. Email is a public string, password is a public string, get set, and public boolean, boolean, remember me, get set. Add a new folder under the project naming as controllers. After a model, we need to create controllers model. Add a new controller class into the folder naming it as account controller. That controller name is account controller. So model name is login model, controller naming as account controller. Add and write the below coordinate by deleting the existing index action method. Write the below coordinate by deleting the existing index action method. It was public view result login return view. Public view result login. So actually index, right? Index is our index action method, but we are write the code view result login in account controller. So model name is login model, and this is model view result login. This controller name is account controller. And instead of index and action method, we write public view result login. So return view is common. Add a view. Add a view to login action method, and to do that, right click on method that is present in the controller class. Select the option add view, which launches a window in that select Razor view empty. Click on add button, which opens a window asking for a name. Enter name as login.cshtml and click add button. So after creating control, add a view to login. Action method, add a view. Add a view to login action method, and to do that, right click on that method that is present in the controller class. Select the option add view, which launches a window in that select Razor view empty. Click on add button, which opens a window asking for a name. Enter the name as login cshtml and click add. So finally model name is login model, controller name is account controller, and view name is login.cshtml. Now in the view, we need to import the model class. Now in the view, we need to import the model class. Import the model class. Okay, import the model class to access the properties of model class. Now in the view, we need to import the model class. To access the properties of model class. In the view, we need to import the model class to access the properties of model class as following. So importing model class to access properties of model class as follows: @model, MVC core tag helpers Oh my god, where is that? At the rate model MVC code tag helpers model is dot login model. In the above statement, model MVC code tag helpers models login model. See, models is a model name, login model is a exit model. Model name. In the above statement, we are prefixing the namespace name. In the above statement, we are prefixing the namespace name before the model class name. Before the model class name. Prefix in the above statement, we are prefixing the namespace before the model class name. Before the model class name, prefixing the namespace name. And we need to do this in every view where we are using model binding, and we need to do this every view where we are using model binding. To simplify the coding or decrease the typing work, MVC core introduce an option called as view imports. MVC core introduced an option called as view imports. That it is a new .cshtml file present under the views folder. That is the new .cshtml file present under the views folder, just like underscore views.cshtml, but with the name view imports.cshtml. And we can use the file for importing all the required namespaces for views, so that we don't require to do that again and again each view. So that we don't require to do that again and again in a view. But with the name .view import.cst, above stand we are prefixing. Wait. To simplify code decreasing type, MVC core introduce. For decreasing the code, introduced option views imports, but with the name. The file under the view imports.cstm, views import.cstm. If we create a project type, if we create a project of type ASP.NET Core Empty, if we create a project of project type ASP.NET Core Empty, then we will not have view imports.cshtml by default in our project. So we need to explicitly add it, and to do that, right click on the views folder and select the option add views, which will open a new window, and in that window select Ranger View Empty and click on that add button, which opens another window, and in that window select the template Ranger View Imports, which displays Razor V imports which displays views import.cshtml. As the name of file, click on add button to add it to the project. By default, the file will be empty and in the file return the below statement. By the default, the file will be empty and in the file by the default the file will be empty and in the file writing the below statements using at the rate using MVC code tag helpers dot models at the rate using MVC code tag helpers dot models. Note, if we create a project of type if we create a project of type ASP.NET Core Web App, then we don't require doing all the above things because my default view imports.cshtml file is added and the model's namespace is also imported. Notice, if we create a project of type ASP.NET Core Web App, create a project type of ASP.NET Core Web App, then we don't require doing all the above things because my default file is added. View imports.cshtml file is added and the model's namespace also imported. This model namespace also imported. Now in login.cshtml, without prefixing the namespace name before model class name, we can directly write it as following @model login model. If we create a project of type ASP.NET Core Web App, then we don't require. If you create a project type of .NET Core Web App, then we don't require to doing all the above things because by default views imported is HTML file is added, and the model's namespace is also important. Model's namespace use model's namespace is also important. Now in login.cshtml, without prefixing the namespace name before model class name, we can directly write it as following: @model login model. Without prefixing the namespace name before model class name, we can directly return it as @model login model. @model login model. Installing Bootstrap for designing use. Installing Bootstrap for designing use. If you want to use Bootstrap for styling for elements, we need to first install Bootstrap in our projects, and we can do that either by using NuGet Package Manager or Library Manager for managing all the client-side libraries. Now write the below code in the login.cshtml file by deleting all the content in the file except the model class import statement for creating the login form using HTML helpers. Now write the below code in the login.cshtml file by deleting all the content in the file except the model class import statement for creating the login form using HTML helpers. Login form link href login form and section. In the view that we have created above, we use strongly typed HTML helpers to design the UI or Q, whereas MVC provided as tag helpers for UI or Vue design. What are tag helpers? What are tag helpers? Tag helpers are classes Tag helpers are classes written in C#. Tag helpers are classes written in C# but are attached to HTML elements. To run server-side code from Razor views. To run server-side code from Razor views. To run server-side code. To run server-side code from Razor views. So tag helpers are run server-side code from Razor views. Server-side code from Razor views. In other words, views that are created in HTML, views that are created in HTML do have their presentation logic defined in C Sharp, which is ultimately executed on web server. Example of some built-in tag helpers are anchor tag, environment tag, etc. Some built-in tag helpers are anchor tag. Built-in tag helpers means anchor tag and environmental tag, etc. How to use tag helpers? See, tag helpers are classes written in C Sharp, server-side code from Razor views. But how to use this? How to use these tag helpers? To use the inbuilt tag helper. To use the inbuilt tag helpers. To use the inbuilt tag helpers, you must import them by using to use the inbuilt tag helpers, we must import them by using @add tag helpers. @add tag helpers. To use inbuilt tag helpers, to use inbuilt tag helper, we must import them by using add tag helpers. To use inbuilt tag helpers, we must import them by using add tag helper. We must import by using add tag helper directly in the view imports.cshtml file. For our project is ASP.NET Core MT, we need to perform importing explicitly, whereas if the project is ASP.NET Core Web App, then it is automatically imported and check that go and watch the code, and they will be find the below statements. And if we run, and if we not found, do it manually. Add tag helper. So to use inbuilt tag helper, we must import them by using add tag. To use inbuilt tag helpers, we must add a tag helper. Microsoft.ASP.NET Core MVC tag helpers. Note: the above statement will import all the tag helpers. Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC tag helpers are import all the tag helpers that are presented in the namespace Microsoft.ASP.NET Core MVC helpers. MVC tag helpers. The above statement will import all the tag helpers that are present in the namespace Microsoft.ASP.NET Core MVC tag helpers. And as discussed above, if we imported a library in view imports.cshtml file, then it will be available for all the views. So you don't want any views to use globally imported tag helpers. You can use dot remove tag helpers in the respective view. If you want to use tag helpers in our login page, then delete all the content that is present inside of section tags in the code. Controller, ASP.NET controller, ASP.NET for email, ASP.NET for email class. Mexico tag helpers. These will enable server-side code to participate in creating and rendering HTML elements. Tag helpers are classes. Commands such as creating forms, links, loading, alerts, assets, and more, and even more available in public GitHub repository as you get packages, as well as we can also create a tag helpers. Tag helpers are classes and they are authorized in C# and they are targeted HTML elements based on the element or attribute name. For example, the built-in label target helper class target the HTML label element when the label tag helper attributes are applied. If we are familiar with it. Familiar with HTML helpers in MVC5, tag helpers will reduce the explicit transition between HTML and C# in Razor views. In many cases, HTML helpers provide an alternative approach to specific tag helper, but it's important to recognize that what tag helpers provide. Tag helpers provide HTML-friendly development experience. Tag helpers provide HTML-friendly development experience. For the most part, a Razor markup using tag helpers look like standard HTML front-end designer who are familiar with HTML. Action tag helpers to control action method examples. .NET type input type. Boolean type is equal checkbox. The most tag helpers set the HTML type attribute based on the base below. Multi-selector. The selected tag helper will automatically generate the multiple attribute if the property is specified in the HTML for attribute is enumerable. For example, Data management using XML. Data management using XML. Create a new ASP.NET Core web app, naming it as MVCDH project. Choose target framework as .NET 10. Check two check boxes. Configure for HTTPS and do not use top level statements. Do not use top level statements means main method. And click on the create button and click on the create button. Install the package Razor Runtime compilation using NuGet package manager. Click on the create button. Click on the create button. Install Razor Runtime compilation using NuGet package. Open program.cs file and modify code of below statement. So, builder.services.add controllers. Builder.services.add controllers with views. Builder.services.add controllers with views is older, but new code is builder.services.add controllers with views that add Razor Runtime compilation. Add Razor Runtime compilation is newly added, and this is the new code. Open program.cs file and modify the code. Builder.services.add controllers with views. Builder.services.add controllers with views. Add Razor Runtime compilation. Add Razor Runtime compilation. Add a new XML file in the project, naming it as customer.xml, and write the below code in it. Add a new XML file. Add a new XML file in the project, naming it as customer.xml. Customer.xml. New XML. Add a new XML file. Customer. The right below coordinate. Customer. Customer ID 101. Cust ID. Name. Customer ID, name, balance, city, status. These are customer details. Customer ID, name, balance, city. 1 2 3 4 5 5. ID, name, balance, city. Status, boolean. And next another customer ID, name, balance, city, status. And another customer ID 101 David 45,000 Bengaluru 2. So 1 2 3 customers in the customers table. Add a new class. Add a new class into the models folder, naming it as customer, and write the below code. Add a new class in the models folder, naming it as customer. Add a new class naming it as models folder, naming it as customer, and write the below coordinate. Public class customer, of course this is automatically come. The public int string decimal string boolean, customer id, name, balance, city, status. Add another new class, add another new class into the model folder, naming it as customer xml doll. Another class, add another new class into the models folder, naming it as customer xml doll, and write the below coordinate, and write the below coordinate using system data. Use system data. Using system data. Public class customer xml doll is another class in model. Data set ds, data set public customer xml doll, public customer xml doll is class name, right? Model class. ds new data set, ds for new data set. Data set is a method. Data set is a method, I think. ds for new data set. ds dot read xml, customer dot xml. ds dot read xml means dx dot read xml means the read xml customer dot xml is reset. Adding primary key on cust id of data table, adding primary key on cust id of data table. ds dot tables 0 dot primary key is equal new data column, new data column. ds dot tables 0 columns cust id. So first class created in this name customer models folder. Another new class in model class folder name is the customer xml doll. Data set ds customer xml doll new data set. test read XML, customer.xml, customer.xml. Add a primary key on customer ID of data table. DS data tables primary key is equal new data column. This table digital primary key is equal new data column. And DS table here is column customer ID. Customer ID is a primary key. Public list customer. Public list customer. Customers select. Public list customer. Oh, these are full of code. ఇట్లా ఇంత పెద్ద కూడా వామ్మ. ds dot tables rows ds into index is equal ds dot write xml customer xml ds dot write xml ds dot table into index is equal ds dot table rows dot index of dr ds table 0 rows saving data back to xml file, deleting all of that, saving the data back to xml file. ds data set table 0 rows index delete, for deleting the data from deleting the data using index by using index, deleting the data row from data table by using index. gs table 0 rows index delete, saving data back to xml files, saving data back to xml file is ds.write xml. Saving data back to xml file is ds.write xml. Public void customer delete, finding data row is and primary key. Difficult. Too much of code, bro. Too much of code. I think we are literally taking one by one. See, these are attribute names: customer ID, name, balance sheet, status. Right? This is the start system.data. Data set ds. ఎందుకు data set ds పెట్టుకున్నాం మనం? చాట్ జీపీటీని అడుగుదామా? ఓకే, లిస్ట్ కస్టమర్స్ అంటే ఈచ్ కస్టమర్ అనేది తీసుకోవడం జరుగుతుంది. పబ్లిక్ లిస్ట్ కస్టమర్. ఓకే, తీసుకుందాం. Okay, add a new control into another control folder, naming it as controller customer controller. This is customer XML done customer controller and write the below coordinate. Add a view to display customer action method and write the below code. Add a view to display customer action method and write the below code by deleting existing. Add customer action method. As we can see in the above customer controller, to get the customer data, controller depends on customer XML class. So within the controller class, we have created the instance of customer. What is dependency injection? Tight coupling. What is the problem in the above glitch? As we see in the customer controller class, to get the customer data, controller depends on the customer XML class. So within the controller class, we have created the instance of customer XML class, and then invoking all the methods of that class as per our requirements. So there is a tight coupling between customer controller class and customer XML classes. Tomorrow, if there are multiple implementations to DAL class, then we need to change the name of DAL class in all the controller classes, where we used customer XML DAL because controller and DAL are tightly coupled with each other. We can overcome this problem with the help of dependency injection design pattern. We can overcome this problem with the help of dependency injection design pattern. What is dependency injection design pattern? Dependency injection is a process of injecting the instance of a class into another class that depends on it. Dependency injection is a process of injecting the instance of a class. Injecting the instance of a class into another class. Injecting the instance of a class into another class. Injecting the instance of a class into another class, and that depends on it. The dependency injection is most used in pattern nowadays to remove the dependencies between instances, and this allows us to develop loosely coupled software components. So okay, leave it. Add another new customer model class. ఇక్కడ ఒక సింపుల్ XML బేస్డ్ డేటా యాక్సెస్ లేయర్ DAL, అంటే డేటాబేస్ కాకుండా XML ఫైల్ customer.xmlలో డేటా స్టోర్ చేసి CRUD ఆపరేషన్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ సింపుల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. C# పబ్లిక్ క్లాస్ కస్టమర్ XML DAL. ఇది కస్టమర్ డేటా హ్యాండిల్ చేసే క్లాస్. కస్టమర్ డేటాను హ్యాండిల్ చేసే క్లాస్. XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డేటా రీడ్ చేసి మాడిఫై చేసి మళ్ళీ సేవ్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డేటా రీడ్ చేసి మాడిఫై చేసి మళ్ళీ అందులోకి సేవ్ చేస్తుంది. constructor. ds is equal new data set. Okay, this is a constructor. Okay, so there is a full of C sharp. Definitely we need C sharp knowledge. ds is equal to new data set. ds dot read xml customer dot xml. ds dot tables that primary key is equal new data column. ds dot tables 0 is columns first id. data set మెమరీలో డాటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. డాటా సెట్ అంటే మెమరీలో డాటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. డాటా సెట్ అంటే మెమరీలో డాటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. అండ్ డిఎస్ డాట్ రీడ్ ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్. ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడా. సి డాటా సెట్ మెమరీలో డాటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. డాటా సెట్ మెమరీలో డాటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ కస్టమర్ డాట్ ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్. ఫస్ట్ ది 2 lines. ds is equal new data set. So ds for new data set. read xml customer xml. read xml customer dot xml. read xml means xml file డాటా లోడ్ అవుతుంది. XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్ అవుతుంది. primary key is a new data call. read XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. primary key customer id unique important for find method. important for find primary key. So primary key is new data call. First is a class purpose. Public class customer XML data means XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా రీడ్ చేసి మాడిఫై చేసి XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా రీడ్ చేసి మాడిఫై చేసి మళ్ళీ సేవ్ చేసి. దట్ ఈస్ ది కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. ఐ వెరీ బ్యాడ్ అబౌట్ దిస్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ బ్రో. ds is equal new data set and ds dot read XML. ds dot read XML customer dot XML. read XML XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్ విచ్ లోడ్ కస్టమర్ ఫైల్. కస్టమర్ XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. ఓకే, read XML మీన్స్ డాటా లోడ్. ఓకే, read XML డాటా లోడ్ ఫ్రమ్ కస్టమర్ XML నుంచి డాటా లోడ్ అవుతుంది. కస్టమర్ XML నుంచి డాటా లోడ్. ds dot tables primary key is equal new data column. primary key is new data. ds dot tables columns is equal to first id. primary key is custody. So we are setting that custody. We are setting that customer ID is unique ID. Wait a second. Okay. Customer ID is unique ID. That is primary key, right? ds dot tables. ds dot tables dot primary key. ds dot tables dot primary key is equal to data column. ds dot tables dot columns custody. So this is the primary key. Third, customer select. In C# public list customer. Customers select. Customer select. All customers ని fetch చేస్తుంది. Customers select. Customer select. All customers select. Customers select. All customers select. Select payments all. ఆల్ కస్టమర్స్ వచ్చేసి డాటా టేబుల్లో ప్రతి రో లూప్ చేస్తుంది. ప్రతి రో కస్టమర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్గా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. కస్టమర్ సెలెక్ట్. పబ్లిక్ లిస్ట్ కస్టమర్ డాటా టేబుల్లో ప్రతి రో లూప్ చేస్తుంది. ప్రతి రో కస్టమర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్గా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. లిస్ట్ రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. సింపుల్ మీన్ XML టు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లిస్ట్. XML టు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లిస్ట్. కస్టమర్ ఇంట్ కస్టడీ. C# data row dr is equal to data row dr is equal ds dot tables rows dot find. Rows dot find custody. Specific customer features. dr is equal ds dot tables dot row. dr is equal ds dot tables dot rows that find custody. Specific customer features. Specific find custody. Find custody specific. Specific customer ని ఫెచ్ చేస్తుంది. సో దానికోసం ds dot tables ds dot tables rows ds dot tables rows ds dot tables rows find. Specific customer ని ఫెచ్ చేస్తుంది. ప్రైమరీ కీ కస్టడీ ద్వారా రో ఫైండ్. ఆ రో కస్టమర్ ఐడి ద్వారా రో ఫైండ్. కస్టమర్ ఐడి ద్వారా రో ఫైండ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ రో కస్టమర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్గా కన్వర్ట్. ఆ రో కస్టమర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్గా కన్వర్ట్. సింపుల్ ఐడి ఇచ్చి ఒక రికార్డ్ తీసుకోవడం. డిఆర్ఎల్ అయితే రో వస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ కస్టమర్ ఇన్సర్ట్. కస్టమర్ సెలెక్ట్. customer insert, customer select, కస్టమర్ సెలెక్ట్ చేయడానికి, కస్టమర్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడానికి డాటా రో డిఆర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ డిఎస్ డాట్ న్యూ రో, న్యూ కస్టమర్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. డాట్ న్యూ రో అంటే న్యూ కస్టమర్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. డాట్ న్యూ రో అంటే న్యూ కస్టమర్స్ని యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. డాట్ ఫైండ్ కస్టమర్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఐడిని తీసుకుంటే కస్టమర్ ఇన్సర్ట్ డాట్ న్యూ రో డాటా రో ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ డిఆర్ డాటా రో డిఆర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ ds dot tables dot ds dot tables dot న్యూ రో తీసుకుంటే ఇన్సర్ట్ కస్టమర్ ఇన్సర్ట్ అవుతుంది. న్యూ కస్టమర్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. న్యూ రో క్రియేట్ వాల్యూస్ వస్తుంది. టేబుల్స్లో యాడ్ XML ఫైల్ సేవ్ XML సింపుల్ ఇన్సర్ట్ ఆపరేషన్. సో ఫర్ ఇన్సర్ట్ ఆపరేషన్ జస్ట్ we are added dot new row data row dr is equal ds tables dot new row. Customer update new row is inserting data row dr is equal ds tables dot rows dot find customer dot cust id update customer update అంటే existing customer update row find by id row customer dot cust id row find by id and rows index తీసుకోవడం values update XML edit existing record edit existing record customer delete ds.tables.rows index.delete find customer.custd ds tables rows index.delete rows index.delete రో ఫైండ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇండెక్స్ తీసుకుంటూ డిలీట్ XML సేవ్ రిమూవ్ రికార్డ్ ఓవరాల్ ఫ్లో XML ఫైల్ డేటా సెట్లో లోడ్ ఆపరేషన్ మళ్ళీ XML వస్తుంది. XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డేటా సెట్లో లోడ్ అవుతుంది. XML ఫైల్ నుంచి డేటా సెట్లో లోడ్ అవుతుంది. ఆపరేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ అండ్ మళ్ళీ XML ఫాలో మళ్ళీ XMLకి సేవ్ అవుతుంది. ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్స్ డిఆర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ నల్ చెక్ చేయాలి. అప్డేట్లో స్టేటస్ కూడా అప్డేట్ చేయాలి. ఇండెక్స్ అవసరం లేదు, డైరెక్ట్ డిఆర్ నేమ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎక్సెప్షన్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ యాడ్ చేయాలి. ఇది అండర్స్టాండ్. ఇది డేటాబేస్ లేకుండా XMLని చిన్న డేటాబేస్ లాగా యూజ్ చేస్తున్న కోడ్. సో ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడుకునేది టాపిక్ custom XML data set ds data data customer data add primary key and customer ID after the table. Table state primary key is equal new data column. Table is equal customer ID. Public list customers customer new is equal for each data row tr index tables that's it for each data row tr customer object is equal new customer ID convert customer ID name balance details convert to in 32 dr customer ID name is equal string dr customer ID dr name dr balance dr custody dr balance dr city dr status dr customer dr balance dr city existing balance name is a string so string is convert to int 32 convert to int decimal convert to int boolean add option return customer public customer select int customer finding data row based on its primary key finding a data row based on its primary key value data row dr is equal ds tables customer is customer new customer ID convert to int 32 data row new data row ds tables dot rows dot find customer ID customer is equal to customer ID name balance converted to string converted to decimal converted to string converted to boolean so balance should be decimal public void customer insert public customer insert customer can create a new data row based on data table structure create a new data row base insert data row here is the asmi value stage column of the data data row has available a new row assigning values to each column of the data customer ID dr name balance dr customer ID dr name dr balance customer ID customer name customer balance customer customer add the new database ds dot tables rows dir save data back to xml. ds write xml. Public void customer update customer. Find data row based on its primary key. Data row dir is equal to ds table date 0. Find customer id customer. Calling index of int index ds table. Override all values in data row with new values based on it. Overriding the old values in data row with new values based on the index. ds tables 0. Override the old values. ds tables override all the values. Find customer id. Int index is equal to ds dot tables is equal to rows dot index of ds. Find customer dot cust id. ds is equal to tables 0 rows index name. ds customer id name. ds tables 0 rows index balance is equal to customer dot balance. Public void customer delete. Public void customer delete. Find the data row based on its primary key. Data row dir is equal to ds table is equal to find customer. Finding the index of data table. Int index is equal to ds dot table dot rows index of dir. Finding data row by calling index of method. Deleting data row from data table by using this. This table is dot delete. Calling index of the index ds is equal to find data row based on its primary key. Data row ds dot find customer id. Calling index delete. Hello bro, commenting something. Okay, gone.